A group of friends discover that they can conjure spirits through an embalmed hand, and it becomes a popular party game until it goes too far. Let's talk to me. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the recent A24 film Talk to Me. This was released in theaters over the summer, but it is now available on demand and will be on DVD and Blu-ray soon for your Halloween spooky movie pleasure. So if you did miss this one in theaters, you have the chance to check it out now. Before we launch into the specifics, though, of this movie, Talk to Me, let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We've got a ton of great movie and TV reviews for you to check out. And I have a bunch of playlists on the channel as well to sort of help you navigate through everything, because I do post just about every day, so there's a lot of videos, but there's a 2023 movie playlist, 2023 TV playlist, and just in time for Halloween, I've made a 2023 horror movie playlist, so you can check out, not just this one, but all of my horror movie reviews throughout the year. All right, so in this movie, like I mentioned, it's an A24 film, and they, really are always pushing the envelope, in whatever direction, whether it's horror, whether it's, drama. They did Uncut Gems, which I think made us all realize, Adam Sandler is a really great dramatic actor. And their history of horror movies is, they've got Hereditary, Midsummer, some of the most well-received movies. They do the X and Pearl movies with Mia Goth. So always something interesting from them. I don't love everything they've put out. They put out one horror movie last year with Pete Davidson. I thought was pretty much garbage, bodies, bodies, bodies. But boy, this is, slight spoiler for my grade. This is, I think, the best horror movie so far this year. And you'll see on my playlist, I've seen a couple dozen of them. But this for me is the best one I've seen. It's the best A24 horror movie I've seen in quite a while as well. I think it might even be better than X and Pearl. Pearl, I think, was the one I enjoyed more, but anyway, let's get to this one, shall we? So, I mentioned the premise up front. This group of friends finds that they are able to conjure up spirits that can kind of embody them for a moment or two while they're gripping this embalmed hand. They take it around to parties. It's a fun party trick, party game, until it goes too far, and then things really go sideways. And that's kind of all I'll say about that. So boy, one thing I can say about this movie is the effects. The practical effects, fantastic. A24 has always been big on keeping things as practical as they can, and the splatter factor, the gore factor here is pretty high. But and I definitely had to do this a couple of times in the movie, look away. But the practical effects are outstanding. You really, really believe, a lot of this stuff is going on. Plot wise, I think this movie works very well also, because it's, look, it's really a fairly basic premise. It's your classic, parlor game gone wrong. But I think what they've done with it and how they've developed the characters along the way, because we have, a nice little sort of lead up prologue kind of thing, with some of the characters. Two of them are siblings, and the older sibling's friend. And then, they sort of discover this, as they go, and become kind of obsessed with it. And then once it sort of takes hold, it's too late, and look, maybe plot wise, this isn't anything groundbreaking, but they've given us characters to care about, and I think A24 does that pretty well too. I didn't necessarily love Midsummer, but I like the characters. But yeah, the development of the characters along the way is really great, and these are pretty much all like new actors. Ari McCarthy, Hamish Phillips, Sarah Brokshina, Sonny Johnson, Sophia Wilde. Like, these are not names I've ever heard of. I maybe have seen one or two of these people in other movies, but uh, you know And that isn't always a deal breaker. Sometimes we see a horror movie where, oh, okay, yeah, that's, this actor doing this. But boy, it really sort of brings another layer to it when you don't know anybody. It makes it like, oh, okay, these are, not that they're real people. It's not like Blair Witch, found footage. But yeah, look, this is just a winner all the way around. It's getting, got amazing reviews from critics, and I can see why. They've already developed a prequel that supposedly they shot in tandem with Talk to Me. And A24 is big on that too because they shot X and Pearl together too. So we may get at some point, I think it's already in post production, we may get at some point soon the prequel to sort of how this all started and everything. I would love to see that. And then, of course, because of the box office success of this, they have already greenlit a sequel. So that is, I guess, being written now. Well, with the strikes, who knows? But in any event, so there's a couple other projects in the works, with this. But listen, it had all of the hallmarks that I like to see in a scary movie. And one of my favorite things, they didn't overuse jump scares, and they also, even in a dimly lit scene, I could tell everything that was going on. But really, the practical effects, the actual horror of the film and the conceit and the plot, it all was working for me on all cylinders. I really think it's one of A24's best that we've seen in a while, at least in the horror genre. I did love Pearl, but I think this is probably even better. It's certainly more enjoyable watch. It maybe is not as creative as Pearl, in that aspect. But in any event, you can see this now on demand at home for rent or purchase, and it will very soon be available for purchase on DVD and Blu-ray. There might be some cool extras, some making of features. Would love to see those. I leave Talk to Me with an A minus. It might even be an A by the end of the year. I've thought about it a lot. But thank you so much for watching Dan Reviews It. We'll see you next time. Bye.